Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of my wonderful and beautiful little subscribers out there. And how I love you all so, and I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper delicious, and super duper wonderful. And that life is treating you most deliciously. You must remember the eagle and the mirror. Okay, my delicious little babies. So, what's the time, Mr. Wolf? So, the time is 6 minutes past 12 in the afternoon in our old England, my delicious little babies, on the 13th of January 2026, my delicious little babies, okay? Now then, 3, 2, 1, my juicy little lights. Thank you, little lights. You're delicious and bright, yeah. Now then, my delicious little babies. So I do have a number of videos for you today to take a look at. Of course, it took there's no surprise. It took hours upon hours for my video to upload yesterday, and of course, there is nothing. It's not unusual. There's nothing unusual, my delicious little babies. What year was that song, my delicious little babies? Tom Jones, wasn't it? Okay, my delicious little babies. There's no surprise here. You see, my videos just do not get seen, but there is always somebody hearing and seeing. So one way or another, there we are, my delicious little babies. There we are, the word always gets out. Okay, my delicious little babies, so no matter what they do, you know what I mean? They are not a winning. Okay, my delicious little babies. And of course, there we are, for I even say they know this. Okay. So we shall just keep rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep those wheels rolling. Yes, we will, my delicious little babies. Okay. I will not be defeated. I may get peed off sometimes, but I will not be defeated. Okay. So the first one, my delicious little babies. This one is only 10 minutes long, my delicious little babies, and just over 10 minutes. I think, is it this one? I think is it 143,000 or 100 and, sorry, excuse me, or 146,000, my delicious little babies. Okay, I'm going to stick with, I'll just put 146. Okay, that doesn't mean no, my delicious little babies. I've forgotten to put the flipping uploader, haven't I, my delicious little babies? Okay, if you could please and thank you type in, should anybody happen to have any form of an interest, because otherwise I've got to go back out to my video, and then that balls it up, and then to go and look for this video that I've just watched, and then I've got to come back in again, and I've got to start all over again. Okay, my delicious little babies. So if you used to please and thank you type in before, and it's in capitals, this is A for Apple, N for November, C for Charlie, ANC. South Africans were 10 times richer than today, regardless of race. Okay, my delicious little baby. So I'm just going to repeat that again for you, shall I? Before ANC, South Africans were 10 times richer than today. Now, this one here now, has he done 211 videos or 291? Anyway, it's something like that. And he's had his channel since, is it 2013? To get him to this point here, bless, and of course, with anybody not in that way, not in that way. What he's talking about, my delicious little babies, okay, is to the fact that he feels he's only speaking the way he sees it, and how other countries seem to have moved forward, like Poland. Is it Chile he mentioned as well? They've moved forward as well, my delicious little babies. There's other parts of the world who have also moved forward, but it appears that the way he's viewing it, being a South African, that he feels that they have gone, words to effect, not his exact words, but well, they've sort of gone backwards because they're not making all of the ching, 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 you know what I mean, Martinish little babies. Well, I've been saying this long time. Okay, Martinish little babies, you see, when you go and thief and steal and tea leaf from other countries now, okay, well, in my view, nobody should do that anyway. Okay, my delicious little babies. But when ones do that, it is ding, ding, dong, dong, common sense. They are taking the riches, there we are, from another country. And we have seen this in other countries, haven't we, my delicious little babies, over the decades, okay? So, you know, really, the whole of Africa, there we are, should be full and plenty, should be full and wholesome. But it's almost like they wanted to keep, like I say, certain countries down. There we are. There we are. Okay, my delicious little babies. That's what they've done. Okay. You know, which consequently makes it much harder, you know, to eat. Do you understand what I mean? Okay. And to have what I would call adequate living conditions. Do you see what I mean? Okay. While others who have robbed other countries now, my little babies, for decades, okay, and made full and plenty, okay, and they're sitting in their little palaces, there we are, they're sitting in their little palaces, feeling all good about themselves, you see what I mean, my little babies. But from where I'm sitting, I do not feel. I'm hearing different videos. Anyway, please take a look at that video should anybody happen to have any form of an interest. If you please and thank you, type it in, just joining the dots. If you have any form of an interest, my delicious babies, I'm not talking to anybody who already knows about this. I'm talking to anybody because you're all my delicious babies who do get to view my videos. Bless you and thank you so very much for any views and for any likes. Well, you will see, there we are, that there is a point throughout his video to what he is saying. Okay, my delicious little babies, there's been lots of countries, there we are, who have made a lot of ka-ching, ching, ching. You know what I mean, my delicious little babies, okay? So, and not to mention Russia, China, because you see, they're all part of one. They're all in the same pot, my delicious. There we are. They're all in the same pot, my delicious little babies. Do you know what I mean? But of course, it's meant to look like, oh, you know, this one's against this one and this one's siding with this one. It's just a crock of effing shark, my delicious little babies. And I just feel that for those out there who genuinely believe, okay, well, I feel sorry for you. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? Anyway, so the next one, my delicious little babies. So this one here, this uploader happens to have 2.38 million. Okay, my delicious little babies. When did he start on YouTube? Was it 2017? My delicious little babies. There's a reason why I'm mentioning different numbers this morning. My delicious little babies. Okay. Of course, we also have to remember that 13 and 17, which of course these uploaders, I'm pretty sure would not have realised, you know, when it comes to numbers, numerology, you know, how these work. You know what I mean, my delicious little babies. But there's a point to what I'm saying, okay? So he's managed to do, from what I could see, extremely well with 2.38 million, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I mean? Anyway, and this one is a historian. Now, once again, I'm not talking to anybody who happens to know who this is. I'm talking to any of our delicious little babies who do not know. Okay, my delicious little babies. So, in the older space bar, my delicious little babies, I wrote that one down. I just looked at that other video as well, my delicious little babies. So I apologise to the uploader. Okay, in capital letter Mark in the old space bar in YouTube. Once again, should anybody happen to have any form of an interest, space capital F Falton and then space capital P Productions. Okay, my delicious little babies. So it should read, once tapped into the old space bar in YouTube, Mark, all spaces, Falton Productions. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now then, I think this is about is it about 25 minutes long? It's something like that. It's not very long at all, my delicious little babies, okay? And this should read The Last Shah, okay, my delicious little babies, how Iran changed from Western all to enemy. Okay, my delicious little babies, so I'm just going to repeat that again for you. The Last Shah, how Iran changed from Western all to enemy. Okay, my delicious little babies. So what he's basically saying in this historian. It isn't Mark, it's somebody else is speaking. Okay. Uh, what he's basically saying is that Iran at one time was very, let's just say, what's the best words to use? Well, they got on there very well, so they were quite aligned. Okay, Martin babies, and of course, over time, and different things changed, and that particular Shah, and then, well, he passed away with cancer. 60, note that number, 60 Martin babies comes to six, you see what I mean? Okay. Well, they tried to assassinate him, mind you. I mean, he was a bit of a playboy in his day. I mean, his second marriage was to a 16-year-old when he was 32. They all seem to like the young women, don't they? And, the young babies. Do you know what I mean? Madlish babies, okay? Well, at least he waited until this one was 16, which should really be 18. Okay, Madlish babies. Well, really, to tell you the truth, really, if you're 16 or 18, you shouldn't be with a man, double your age. Okay, Martin, babies. But anyway, that ended in divorce, just like his first one. Yeah. And of course, he did like fast cars and everything. And of course, he took quite a lot of ka-ching, ching, ching. So they've all done it, Martin, babies. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, they've all done it. You know what I mean? For most of them, there's very few, I would say, who wouldn't take the change. Pound, shilling, pence, dollars and change. Do you see what I mean? Okay. And of course, if you look at it, where are they? You know what I mean, Martin babies, okay? We've heard of all of over these decades, all of the assassinations in different countries, you know what I mean, okay? It's all about power, isn't it? Power and ka-ching. You know what I mean? And wanting, to bully others. That's what this is about, Martin babies, okay? So the next one, but yeah, so this never came up on my feed. I was actually looking for other videos, and this is how I came across this one, Martin babies. Okay, it's the same with the other one. Okay, Martin little babies. You see, YouTube doesn't volunteer some videos, but there we are. But they certainly volunteer others. And when I happened to look at a few of these comments here on this particular video that I've just advertised, Martin babies, well, somebody was it on this video? It could have been on this one, yeah. Something about YouTube, sorry, yeah, stumbled there, rightfully so. YouTube algorithms that, yeah, they know when to step in. You know what I mean, Martin babies? Well, it never came up on my feed, so they must have missed my feed out for some reason, Martin babies. Anyway, next one. So this one here, my delicious little babies. In this one, you need to listen, please and thank you. It's only a few minutes long. Okay, my delicious little babies. In the old space bar, capital A, Arthur, space, capital S, sleep. Arthur, space, sleep. Has 57 subscribers, my delicious little babies, okay? And he, from what I can see of his videos, what he does is he, forgot when he last uploaded video. Anyway, my delicious little babies, okay? Well, he sort of puts up older songs. There we are. Do you know what I mean, my delicious little babies, okay? But this one here, it's really important to, there's not a lot of words in it, but it's important, there we are, to listen to the words. Okay, my delicious little babies. And the video, sorry, should read, ain't off been some clever bastardos. I'll just say bastardos. Okay, my delicious little babies, so just repeat that again for you, shall I? Ain't off been some clever bastardos. I'll just say bastardos. Okay, my delicious little babies, anyway. And this was, what was his name? Ian Dury, Dury, and the Blockheads. Okay, my delicious little babies, very interesting. There we are with the material, there we are, that he put out. Okay, my delicious little babies, very interesting indeed. It was very interesting when I was doing my video yesterday evening, and all of a sudden, out the blue, I haven't heard this song for forever. years and years and years and years, decades, hit me with your rhythm stick. Okay, when I look back at the song, the lyrics, there we are, I got it. Ding, ding, dong, dong, good and proper. There we are, good and proper now, I got it. You know what I mean? Exactly what they were telling me. My beautiful dear spirit, do you see what I mean? Okay. So, and of course, with Ian Jury, he's not alive anymore. Okay, my delicious little babies, but please, not a lot of words, but it's important to listen to the words. Very important. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now, the next one. So this is on, they're all on YouTube, my delicious little babies. Capital T, the, space, capital C, conscience, okay, space, capital R, resistance. You know, my left eye's been jumping for flipping days, you know, and I had two robins in my garden. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday afternoon. My delicious little babies, two little robins. So this could mean a husband, there we are, and a wife who's passed away, or it's a short space in between the two, because I had the same with my beautiful dear little neighbours next door. Oh, they're such a beautiful dear little elderly couple. They passed away 10 days apart in the hospital. My delicious little babies, okay? Mind you, they were in their 90s. Okay, my delicious little babies, nevertheless. Rather odd, isn't it? 10 days apart. Husband and wife. There we are. Yeah, strange. Anyway, my delicious little babies, well, I'll be looking down as well, my delicious little babies, to all of this chat. But at that time, I'd already seen, there we are, two robins. Okay, so it's been the same. There's been a singular one coming, and then there's two. Okay, my delicious little babies. Anyway, I'm very much into that, to do with nature, to do with our beautiful dear little birdies and everything like this now then, and our beautiful little squirrels and beautiful little foxes, and Barney the fox, you know what I mean, and family and friends. No, not that fox. Not the fox that you watch on YouTube, my delicious little babies. I'm talking about real foxes. Okay, my little babies, because they're all my little babies. Okay, my delicious little babies. So I'll just repeat this again. The uploader's called, all spaces, the conscience, resistance. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now, we have Derek spelt with a double R. Okay, DERRRCK. Derek Bros. That's his name, my delicious little babies. Okay, please, if ones can, try to listen to some of his videos. Okay, my delicious little babies, he's really banging. And with anybody not in that way, they're all banging who I advertise. Anyway, for a lot, they're going to be one-offs, okay? But for who I usually advertise on a regular basis, and I do it all as a hobby. There we are, all as a hobby, okay? I just need to emphasise that, okay? Well, I feel it necessary to only, there we are, give out information for what I feel, there we are, would be interesting to others, maybe to know, to learn, maybe not in a patronising way. I do not mean it that way, okay, but to educate, there we are, themselves, okay, my delicious babies, because we are all forever learning, okay, my delicious babies. So, and this song is just over 3 minutes long, and Derek's put it up on his conscience, the conscience resistance, okay, because I get notifications, okay, my delicious babies. And the video should read, if you can hear me. Alays Clay featuring 33. Yeah, it's got 33 there, my delicious babies, okay. But anyway, Derek's not doing it for that reason, okay, my delicious babies. So I'll repeat again, if you can hear me, Alays Clay featuring 33, okay, my delicious babies, because we all know that to whom it may concern loves the number 33, okay, my delicious babies. So and it's a song. And what it is, my delicious babies, so anybody who has not heard it, me personally, I have not heard it until today, my delicious babies, okay. It's like a rap song. There we are. But it is a rap song, but it's very interesting to listen to the lyrics of that song as well. My delicious baby is very interesting. So thank you, Derek. Okay. Now then, and I hope he's numbers go up, and it gets a lot more help, because at the end of the day, you've got the independent media. Oh, and I just want to mention somebody else. I've heard a latest video on right. I usually DuckDuckGo, so you tap into Google, 3 words together, DuckDuckGo. You can have it as your search engine if you want to. Mad Delicious Babies. Everybody has different search engines. Okay, so choice is yours. It doesn't matter whether it's in little rat or if it's in capitals, or it's just, what I mean. The space, no it isn't, do forgive me, rewind and start again, world space alternative space media space Odyssey, ODYSEE. He has 15,000 subscribers on Odyssey, my delicious babies. You'll also find, you will find them all on Twitter. You'll find them on Rumble. I'm pretty sure you'll find them on Rumble. And Josh, World Alternative Media, bless, okay? So he's been doing his best to get this information out as well, the same as Derek, the same as everybody who I advertise. Gareth, Jamie, our lovely David Ark, Richard, UK Column. They're all so lovely and dear, bless them, okay? And they're all doing the best to get this information out. Okay, my delicious babies, as well as other channels as well, like Redacted on YouTube. Okay, my delicious babies, okay? There's just so many, okay? Trending on Iconic. And then you've got WTAF, WTAF. They're all on YouTube. My delicious babies, okay? Gareth Space Ike on YouTube. Okay, my delicious babies. UK Column, which is their own website as well. My delicious babies. So our lovely David Ike.com. Okay, there's just. And there's so much information, my delicious little babies, you know what I mean? I also, at this point, want to mention our lovely, not in that way, our lovely little Mal K. So it is The Mal K Show. No, sorry. Best thing to tap in, well, I do anyway. But she is the Mal K Show, bless her, okay? But I usually type in DuckDuckGo. Mornings, all spaces, with Mal K. She's now up to 207,000 subscribers. My delicious little babies on Rumble. She's also got her own website, the Mal K Show, and our lovely little Mel and her dear husband. Flipping Noddle's gone blank now. Rob, sorry, Mel and Rob, I'm really sorry. What made me flipping? Anyway, I never do that because I listen to him regularly. Anyway, if you could please listen to our lovely little Mel and dear Rob's videos as well, my delicious little babies, okay, because they could all do with the support, because they are not receiving the support like from these colossal sponsors, okay, that some channels are. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now, when some channels say, "Oh, if you could donate, whatever," well, you know what they are? They're just greedy, money. There we are. Before I even say it, money hungry. As far as I'm concerned, there we are. Pieces of shit. Okay, my delicious babies, and I will say to my camera, because they are. And for the ones who bullshit, who are quite happy to take the ching ching ching. Pound, shilling, pence, dollars and change. There we are. Shame on you. Shame on your damn selves. You know what I mean? When you've got real journalists, there we are doing flipping jobs. You know what I mean? Martinish babies. I'm not shouting at you, Martinish babies. But no, it just gets me really angry and flipping vexes me, because at the end of the day, when you see there's ones to get the truth out now, and they do not have all these sponsors, you see what I mean, Martinish babies? Yes. Okay. That's what pees me off now. When others are just giving out, there we are, propaganda, anything to feed their audience. Yes, stumbled there, rightfully so. Anything to feed the audience. Well, it's just damn rank and disgusting, in my view. Ones want the truth, not a load of, there we are, effing bullshit now. You know what I mean? Martin's babies, anyway. So, yeah, really interesting song that is, if you can hear me. Yeah. Okay, mad delicious little babies. Okay, I do keep trying. I really keep trying. Mind you, some days I can be very. There we are, trying. Mad delicious little babies. Anyway, now the next one. Okay, this uploader. Yes, mad delicious little babies. Okay. No. I'm going to leave that till last. Okay, I'm going to leave that till last. Okay. The next one, bless, is our lovely, not in that way, is our lovely Jamie with a J, Y, sorry. So it's JAYMIE space Ike, ICKE. Okay, on YouTube, Mad Delicious Babies. Okay. Now, thing was, so I'm very sorry, dear Jamie. There we are. I'm really, truly sorry. I never even knew that he had his own channel. I never knew, Jamie. I really didn't. Anyway, Mad Delicious Babies. So he has his own channel. He has 1.92 thousand subscribers. Mad Delicious Babies. There we are. So we need to get the numbers up there. Okay. Now, the video should read, and it's nearly an hour and 20 minutes long. Okay, Mad Delicious Babies. It's only a few days ago, 5 days ago. Okay, Mad Delicious Babies. Very interesting to listen to. Right now, I'm just nearly a quarter of the way through listening. Okay, but I feel nowhere. I'm so happy, with anybody who I advertise. Okay, but like I say, for a lot, it's just going to be one-offs. Okay, Mad Delicious Babies, but for the ones who I advertise on a regular basis, there we are. I'm super duper happy to do so. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, nothing changes my view. If I enjoy listening to somebody, okay, then I enjoy listening to videos. Okay, it's simple things, as simple as that. I've got my own noddle. Okay, I use my own noddle. Okay, Mad Delicious Babies. This video should read: On a Mission podcast featuring Jamie Ike. Okay, Mad Delicious Babies. So I'm just going to repeat that again for you. On a Mission podcast featuring Jamie Ike. Okay, Mad Delicious Babies. Well, yeah. And he's covering on this particular video, okay, because he does lots of different videos. I haven't looked at all the videos. I've just, had a look at some, and yeah. Okay, Mad Delicious Babies, which of course is on trending on Iconic as well, you see. So of course I listen to dear Jamie, dear Gareth, dear Richard, and our lovely dear David Ark.com. I listen to him regularly anyway. Do you know what I mean? Mad Delicious Babies, okay? Oh, sorry, excuse me. I think I'm going to have a sip of my coffee, please, and thank you. Good day. 2 sips. Okay, Mad Delicious Babies. Now then, so yeah, what Jamie's, what they started talking about on this, because he's there's another dear uploader, and she's clearly invited Jamie onto her video. Do you see what I mean? Her channel, Mad Delicious Babies, and yeah, they're covering, to do with back least 5 year ago, Mad Delicious Babies, and then they're covering on things which I will go back to listening to shortly. Okay, while I'm getting me cleaning and scrubbing done. Okay, Mad Delicious Babies. So, good on you, dear Jamie. Bless. Okay, I didn't know that you had I didn't know you had your own channel, but I do now. So from this moment on, I am advertising. Okay. Sorry, excuse me. Oh, got a right frog in my throat today, Mad Delicious Babies. Is something going on in France? Okay, Mad Delicious Babies. Now then, the final video that I want to advertise today. Okay, this is called. Now, for some of you Mad Delicious Babies, you will know who these are. Me personally, I do not. But guess what? YouTube decided to put them up. There we are, on my feed. Look at that, Mad Delicious Babies. Do you follow what I'm saying? Yes. Is called capital N. This is all together, Mad Delicious Babies, in the old space bar on YouTube. Capital N for November, G for Gertie, 1, the number 1, and then 0. Okay, so that makes 10. So NG10. Look at that, I can add up. Okay, my delicious little babies. And I haven't finished, sorry. I never need to stumble here, but I start slightly stumbling then, wasn't I, my delicious little babies? This is an NG space in all in little writing reports. NG10 reports. Okay, my delicious little babies. This uploader happens to have 1.23 thousand subscribers, my delicious little babies, okay? And never seen them before. Never seen them before, okay? So I hope, there we are, I hope that they prosper, okay? I do not know the background. I do not know, many, to tell you the truth, okay? Anyway, that's not why I'm here. I'm here as a hobby. I repeat again, to give out information, okay? I'm not here to poke my nose into everybody's damn business, you know what I mean? My delicious little babies, okay? Okay, because to be fair, I do not like talking about others or as a rule or criticising. Do you understand what I mean? Okay, I'm a bit like one of these where what goes around comes around. I'm one of those. A beautiful, dear little friend of mine who passed away. She was one of my best friends. A very long time ago now, many years, my delicious little babies. I love her so. I'll always love her, bless her, you know what I mean? She'll be looking down on all this shout as well, my delicious little babies, can. Anyway, and she used to always say, yeah, what goes around comes around, yeah. You see what I mean? So I'll try to be as careful as I can. If I can do that. Do you know, because, right, my business, I'll just repeat this one time. My business is not to go into others' business, okay? If I feel that somebody on a channel is giving out, there we are, what I regard as propaganda, there we are, and just full of shat, okay, then I will say. But it's not for myself to dig into somebody's past. Am I interested in it? To be honest, no. I have zilch interest, okay? What I'm interested in is seeing the material, seeing how, there we are, uploaders operate, how they work, and the information, there we are, that they deliver. I'm not bothered if that, and I do not mean that in a nasty way. I'm not bothered whatever somebody's done in the past. I mean, obviously, as long as it's nothing horrendous. Clearly, but I don't like that word, bloody clearly. We seem to hear a lot of that in the flipping the stage Oval Office, don't we? My delicious little babies, anyway, or in their bloody conference rooms that they call them. But the fact is, what somebody's done in their past, I mean, like I said, as long as it's not super duper really awful, okay? Well, I'm just not here for that. I go on what I see. I go on what I hear. There we are. That's what I do. My delicious little babies. I'm not interested in somebody's past. Okay, let me just tell you this again one time, okay? It's like if you, I don't know, I'm just using it as an example. If you go into a relationship, I'm using merely as an example now, my delicious little babies. I'm single, okay? But say you go into a relationship, okay? Well, the fact of the matter is, do you need to know everything about who it is you're with? I mean, clearly you don't want to be with somebody who is like a mass murderer. That's quite obvious, my delicious little babies, okay? But do you need to know everything about them? No. Do they need to know everything about yourself? No. Okay, so that is, there we are, how I operate. For myself, if you go into a relationship, again, this is all an example. If I go into a relationship, okay, I'm probably like the old Bill, do you know what I mean? In one sense, like I said, I should have been a flipping private detective, right? In one sense, I can ask 1,000 questions and 1,000 questions more if I choose to. But would I want to know what somebody's ex-girlfriend was like? Would I want to know even down to hair colour, colour eyes or figure or whatever it is? No. It's not absolutely zero. We don't like using that word, really, do we? Because we don't want any zeros. You know what I mean? Mad babies. But you know, would I be interested in wanting to know about somebody's love life before we met? I mean, okay, somebody wants to divulge a bit of information, that would be entirely up to themselves. But other than that, I've got no interest at all. What my focus would be is being, there we are, in a relationship with who it is, there we are, I have met, there we are, falling in love with, and who I choose to share pillow talk with. There we are. So just get to the point, Martin. Look, babies, you see what I mean? I'm not interested in what they're a rumble in the jungle. Sorry, jungle. Sorry, Martin. Look, babies, laugh was laugh. That's just not my business, and I wouldn't expect anybody to ask myself that either. So I know that it sounds like I've gone around the houses. There we are. I'm just somebody who likes to explain. There we are. I feel better to explain it so that you're getting where I'm coming from. Please and thank you. It's the same with my videos. So I need to make this really, really abundantly clear. I'm not interested in what somebody's bairnhood was like or what. I'm just not interested at all. Okay? I'm here when I look at the quality, there we are, videos that I give out. I mean, because with myself, I'm just your normal, what you just call normal Joe Blogs who walks down the street, my delicious little babies. That's who I am. You know what I mean? Of course, I'll also say in my camera, to whom it may concern, and anybody else, I'm not just little me. So I just need to make that very clear as well. So no matter how they try to shushy me, it's just not going to work. My delicious little babies, do you see what I mean? I'm still going to give out information. So the fact of the matter is, because there we are, because I have my own self-sanity, there we are, and I have my own self-respect. Do you see what I mean? Okay. And if I see the world, there we are, which it has been for a very long time, there we are, going in the wrong direction, there we are, then I will speak up for it. Okay. And feel no way about it. Okay. So the point is this, it's the same with my videos. Okay, my delicious little babies, that is what I'm saying. Okay. So I'm here to see the quality. I just do normal videos. Some may find it boring. Well, fine. Skip me effing channel. I do not need your service. Your service isn't required. Do you know what I mean? And that's not being rude to you, my little babies. Sorry, okay? Never needed to stumble there. It's not to yourselves, okay? It's just that if some sees it boring, that I'm not doing anything particularly exciting, well, I'm not meant to be doing anything exciting. I'm meant to be, there we are, doing what I have been assigned, there we are, to do in my noddle, which is give out information, okay? This is not playing one uploader off against another. That is not how I operate. To me, that is bairn play. That is for the playground. It's not for myself. I'm a grown woman. I'm an adult. I'm a big woman. Do you know what I mean? Okay. So I like to make everything very clear so that everybody there we are understands who I am. Okay. So, right. This final one with the NG10 reports at 101.23 thousand subscribers should read, and it's about 25 minutes long. Tea time at the Best Western. Yeah, Best Western. Sounds like a flipping film, doesn't it, Mads? Baby's Best Western. Migrants Hotel, Long Eaton. We see what's on the menu. Yes, Mads, baby. So I'm just going to be very, very super duper quick now. Tea time at the Best Western, Migrant Hotel, Long Eaton. We see what's on the menu. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now I'm going to close my book. So it's all ticked off. You're all ticked off now, aren't you, my little lovelies? Okay, not in that way, not in that way. So what's been going on here now then, my delicious little babies? Well, anyway, I taught a long time ago. Was it about 3 years ago? Must go backwards. Must always remember. Yes, it's imperative to live. There we are. Just put my little book, my little grey book over there. Do you ever remember that song? You're more than a number in my little red book, or is it little black book? Anyway, what song was and what year was that? My delicious little babies, rather. You're more than a number in my little red book. It just came into my not on my delicious babies anyway. Um, so what's all this about? This blooming video, my delicious babies anyway. Again, right? Uh, this here, there we are, came up on my feed. Okay, so they've gone into this hotel basically. You know these reporters, bless. Okay, not in that way, not in that way. And yeah, you've got three large these chest freezers, my delicious babies. You've got yeah, they open the freezers so you can see. They've got like some little lists here where ones, you know, what they're eating, you know, what they're going to be eating for their tea, because that's what we call it in England. Well, that's what I was brought up anyway. You had breakfast, you had lunch, dinner, as most would call, and then you have tea, and then you have supper. Okay, that's how I was brought up when I was little. Okay, and those are the days where you had breakfast or lunch or dinner, tea, and then you had a light supper before you retired to your room to rest. Okay, my delicious babies. But these days it's all backwards. I mean, they'll call dinner like at whatever o'clock a night, like 7 or 8 o'clock, and that's dinner. For some, not all. My delicious babies, can you see how backwards it is? Anyway, okay. And then they call, you know, they call brunch, which is in between, you know, dinner time, lunchtime, and then, you know, late morning. Okay, so that would become brunch if it's going into. Do you see what I mean, my delicious babies? It'd be really interesting to see like a dictionary, you know, say about 300 years ago, you know what I mean? Just to see how many words have been added since. Anyway, my delicious babies, and some words we'd rather not hear about, my delicious babies anyway. That doesn't mean yes. So, yeah, they're seeing, and they've got a proper, you know, they've got all of this. What you'd have in a hotel, my delicious babies can. Well, I said 3 years ago, because I've only been doing my videos, I repeat again, just over 4 years, okay? If I had been doing them years ago, there we are, I would have been talking long time. There we are, about different things, okay? There we are, my delicious babies, okay? It's just, at that time, there's a number of reasons why, but I didn't feel, you know, part of me never felt confident enough to, even though I'm so extrovert, I never felt that confident in myself to say, oh, to take the plunge and to start videos, you know what I mean, okay? But I thought about it many years ago, okay, my delicious babies anyway. So let's get back to the matter in hand. So, and I said about 3 years ago on one of my videos, oh, well, on a few of them actually, and I said that, well, why are they here? Because, you know, because they're not here with their, you know, their significant others and little bands, little families and everything. You know what I mean? It's quite obvious why they're here. But ones have to ask themselves the question, you know, like when you're living out in, like our soldiers, who really, I believe everybody should, you know, soldiers and all different military, should just, what I call, figure of speech, drop the tools anyway, because they're not fighting for the cause that they've been told that they're supposed to be fighting for. Okay, well, let's just see how the different troops were treated, you know, like these packs. I want you to rewind your noddles, my delicious babies, okay? And when I was watching it, because I'm not the whole of the way through that video either, it came into my noddle. You know, like how they sell these, you know, and they tell you that they can last 30 years. Oh, right, okay. Yet they criticise tins, you know, tin food. But they'll tell you that, you know, in the plastic pouches that they'll last 30 years. Do you follow me? Ding, ding, dong, dong, my delicious baby. Something doesn't add up, does it? Anyway, tins used to be very toxic, but these days, you know, there we are, somewhat changed. Okay, my delicious babies. And by the way, always look out for the chocolate flavoured club biscuits, all different things now. Chocolate flavoured. Okay, so they're getting rid of a chocolate. And of course, they're going to spin the line that it's because of the cocoa beans. No, it's not. They're just trying to feed everybody shit. Okay, my delicious babies. Oh, sorry to yourselves, but not to whom it may concern, the little lackeys. Slip of the tongue. You know what I mean? My delicious babies anyway. Now, and they're doing it in England right now, okay? So you're not being sold the real McCoy. My delicious babies, just like Walker's crisps. They're damn rank and disgusting with all the ripseed in it and everything else, okay? Crisps used to be crisps, not anymore, my delicious babies, okay? I could just sit here moaning all day. A moan a day keeps you not so friendly, quack, quack away. Okay, my delicious babies, that's not why I'm here. The fact of the matter is, yeah, and you look at the pouches and look at how some troops have had to eat over the decades. Okay, my delicious babies, I'm just pointing something out, okay? Of course, others come over to our country, okay, and that's not racist prejudice one bit. And anyway, I shouldn't even have to say it. I should get myself out of that because I shouldn't even have to say it. Anybody who knows me knows I'm none of those things, okay? Well, these, they have a banquet, don't they, my delicious babies? I've been saying this, there we are, a long time. The way I see it is, there we are, they're on standby. There we are, okay? My delicious little babies, okay? And of course, if somebody can come into the country, just throw your flipping passport away, if ever they even have one. Okay, my delicious little babies, and of course, do the job and then track back out again. I always wonder what happened to, and of course, I will say about migrants, whatever, not all are bad, okay? Of course, we can see all day long, all year long videos where things have gotten out of hand, okay? But we cannot say every single one. Okay, my delicious little babies, because if you do that, you're tarring everybody with the same brush. And nobody should tar, no matter what nationality, colour or creed, we've all got the same blood running through our veins. Nobody should tar everybody with the same brush, okay? Because everybody's different, okay? And of course, in some cases, some there we are worse than others, okay, which of course we do hear about, okay, but like I say, you cannot tar them all. Some just want to earn a living as well. They come into this country, they just want to earn a living. I seen a video the other day, okay, just want to sit down. Somebody, another uploader who's got quite a few subscribers, he sat down, give your man there a cup of coffees on one of these poxy just eat flipping, you know what I mean? But done him, got him a cup of coffee in a coffee shop and everything. And all he wants to do is just earn his ka-ching, just a little bit of change. That's it. He was actually very humble. There we are. He was very polite to the uploader. He was very thankful for that cup of coffee. He was thankful that he was even offered to sit down. Okay. So you cannot say it about everyone, okay? Now, if one's agree with me or disagree with me, that's neither here nor there. I'm a woman with a view. There we are. She'll have me effing view. And the speakers I found, and from what I've seen, that particular one was very humble. There we are, very kind, spoke very nicely to the uploader. I think the uploader was he Polish or Dutch? He was one of those, okay? Not meaning that in the wrong sense of the word, but no, you can have a, level conversation and just be done with it. Do you see what I mean? Okay, so it's not all like that, but of course, if it's winding ones up in our country, because over recent years we have had issues, then of course one's going to get wound up, aren't they? And this is what's been happening, which of course we all know who there we are is causing this problem. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? So anyway, get back to this matter in hand once again before I'm over and out. The fact of the matter is, I believe, yeah, they're on standby. And the other thing I want to talk about, I mentioned this was over a couple of years ago now, 2.5 years ago, could easily. And it was a TikTok video that I'd seen on BitChute before our lovely BitChute, bless, got taken out of our country. Flipping forever, Miss BitChute, It's proper flipping golden treasure, you know what I mean? Okay, there's just that many flipping videos on there that, it was just wonderful and delightful and delicious, you know what I mean? All this real information. Do you see what I mean? Okay, and then look what our poxy government done to us. Do you understand what I mean? And took our lovely BitChute out. Anyway, my delicious little babies, I'm sure that others can get it with a VPN or something anyway. I want to know what happened to that one. He lived in between, because I advertised it for everyone to have a look at, just over 5 minutes long on BitChute. And I've got it wrote down in one of my books. What happened to that one? His bed and breakfast or hotel was in between London and Bristol. And he did just over a little 5-minute video. You couldn't see him. He sacked his, fired his staff at his hotel just before the fake Crimber mad little babies. So how were they going to pay bills, do everything else? I remember saying all this anyway. And he decided to take the ching, 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 we're in the money, okay, from our poxy government now. Little did he realise that then he was panicking, and that was what he was saying on this video, mad little babies, okay? Oh, he was well in a panic, okay? Because around 2:00 in the morning, he gets these calls, then the army, because they don't come through the front door, they come through the back door. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes. Anyway, and well, basically, boxes and boxes of what appeared to be when your man there, who sacked all of his staff just for the ching change, which, by the way, at this point, he could not give back to our governments because they refused to take it back. Okay, Mads and little babies, do you follow me? Okay, when he asked what was in them, they said he's not allowed to know. So he spoke to one of his muckers, his friends, on a dog and bone, and then he says, well, you have every right to know if it's on your premises, which, of course, that's ding, ding, dong, dong, common sense. Nobody should have to, call somebody to ask that question. Do you see what I mean? Anyway, this world that we're living in. And then, basically, once opened, it turned out there were AK-47s, which, according to this man here now, and you could hear the fear in his voice, Mads. There we are, you could really hear the fear, okay? He says just one of those boxes alone would take out his village in our old England, Mads, little babies, okay? And they all had separate keys. Okay, Mads, little babies, so why would you have those? Now, I'm pretty sure maybe some have been shipped abroad, maybe. For others, maybe they're still there. But it'd be very interesting to find out where he is now, your man there now, because I've not seen or heard anything else. It was only that one video. So if anybody knows and you know who I'm on about, then yeah, I don't know. Could he? I don't know. Have some TikTok video? I don't know. But at that time, he was well in a panic. Then he decided to tell everybody on this little video that he's going to be taking these boxes to somewhere else. Well, that's like Facebook. Like when Facebook years ago, because I used to hear so many things now. Okay, I used to know ones who were on the Facebook and say, oh, they're going on holiday this decades ago. Well, many years ago, I'm talking, and not decades. And basically used to say that, yeah, they're going on holiday, and yeah, they used to advertise it. Well, that's exactly what this man was doing. I thought, are you just a damn fool? I do not like that word, but every mother has them. Do you know what I mean? Some mothers rather, well, in this case, every mother does with men like that, isn't it? Because he was ka-ching, money hungry, and then he'd get, there we are, what the duck give him. But if he was to move those boxes, there we are, well, ding, ding, dong, dong, that would cause 2 or 3 times the problem, isn't it? It's all common sense. Do you see what I mean? But he clearly wasn't working off common sense, because when you're panicking, you're not sparing a thought logically, because you're panicking. Okay, Mads, little babies. Now, finally, sorry, it's just came into my noddle, okay? Haven't advertised him for a while. I was only interested in this company's house. There we are. That's all I was interested in, okay? Nothing else, nothing here or there, okay? I'm not interested in anything else. It's just, this is to do with company's house, okay? I just need to make this, there we are, abundantly clear. So I only take out, I'm in pieces, bits and pieces, just bits and pieces, okay? Mardelistic babies of interest, okay? And it's Gary, capital G, space, capital W, Waterman. Okay, man, Waterman. Okay, Mardelistic babies is now up to 4.91 thousand subscribers, Mardelistic babies on YouTube. Okay, now it's very interesting because it's about 5 million that he said, bless. 5 million companies, okay? And then these companies, there's been a lot, there we are, that have been dissolving over a time. Now, he is, at the moment, bless him, living in a tent, which is so sad. I mean, they have some banging on YouTube. These tents that you blow up. I'll have to find it and then write it down so you can see. You can actually rig up all the electrics and everything and have it all insulated and everything. I mean, that's flipping banging. I mean, it's like home from home. You know what I mean? You just go and park your tent in the middle of nowhere, Mardelistic baby. And as long as you know all your electrics and everything like that now, then, flip me. You wouldn't need to flipping go home for flipping months, you know what I mean? Just live there in an inflatable tent, Mardelistic babies, you know what I mean? You've got all your heat and everything. You've got flipping where you can use your computers and everything, lights and everything, Mardelistic babies, you know what I mean? Flipping banging. Mind you, I'm pretty sure it's a pretty penny for something like that. But yeah, it'll be all lit up in the middle of nowhere, Mardelistic babies, you know what I mean? Mind you, I did see an excellent video, which I did advertise yesterday, called Polecat. And it shows you that underneath, if you do not have that type of tent, well, that you can just dig a hole underneath. It's a certain way of doing it. It's only about just over 8 minutes. It was done about 10 months ago. And then you can actually do that where you can heat up your tent, from the inside, my delicious babies, you know what I mean? So it's very clever, these videos. So we are very clever, for survival and everything. I'm very fascinated with anything like that, you know what I mean, my delicious babies, okay? Because I feel that really, there we are, for more of us who do not know all these things, there we are. We should really learn all these things. Anyway, my delicious babies, that's the end of my video. So whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, please have a super duper delicious time. You only get one life, my little honey bunnies. Sending peace, love, harmony, and bright blessings to each and every one of you. And may your beautiful little selves and your beautiful little families, there we are, may you all be fully protected. And how I love you all so. You're all super duper wonderful, super duper lovely, and super duper delicious. And I love you. Yeah. And I hope that dear Gary Waterman, bless him. I really, not in that way. I really hope that he's all right, because he doesn't have any heating in his tent either. Oh, bless. I mean, last time I went camping in 2015, my delicious little babies, I found a wire that rigged up to somewhere else. And then I asked somebody else to get me a heater. They brought me a heater and heated up our 3-bedroomed tent, my delicious little babies, in old Bridlington, you know what I mean? In old England, my delicious little babies. Oh, yeah. Had the heat on flipping 24/7 when we needed it. Me and my dad and my youngest little baby daughter, bless. Yeah, because my eldest baby daughter, she didn't want to go, so it was just the three of us, yeah. But yeah, we made sure that our tent was fully warm and insulated. Do you know what I mean? My delicious little babies. It's just finding a wire. That's all. Once you find the wire, then you attach it to where you need to attach it to. There we are. Bob's your uncle and Fanny's your aunt, really. Anyway, so until my next video, you just take care now. Have a super duper and delicious time. It's a very grey sky. Been peeing down with rain all day, and it's very wet and cold. Okay, my delicious babies, and that's weather forecaster in our old England. So you just take care now. Thank you for listening. Love ya. Thank you. Goodbye.